Okay, so I'm just doing this as sort of a I don't know, semi-related, not really, to the other video. Basically, I'm doing one immediately after this in regards to my Siege Breaker quote-unquote tank, which I've done a few more updates on. And I figured, oh, you know what would be also great is to do just a really short little video about this, which, yeah, I've already been asked about it a couple times. It's mostly in regards to the profile picture. So, just assemble this for now. Basically, I won a contest for the month of May, or maybe it was a 2-week period, but in any case, during May, during Crossout's anniversary month, the community manager, Faley, on the Reddit had a bunch of contests. A week of contests, I think, specifically, and then a couple of like longer overarching ones afterwards, which like I have discussed about in the other video, most notably the one that I did for the Clash of Engineers submission. In any case, I won one of the contests, and one of the results for that, one of the rewards for that, was a pack for the Holy Motor season. So that is including the profile picture for Octopus. So if I had been smart, I would have set this up ahead of time and then had the article open. So that's actually what I'm going to do real quick while I leave that open on screen so people can read it. And I'll pull up the post on the topic matter. Okay, so I imagine that's probably going to be enough time for anybody to have read through that. Here's open. So this is showing the Reddit post. So that is what the pack includes. So it's the profile picture for Octopus, which I already included there, a couple of paints, and then the pack and all the parts that are included in it. So it's a Holy Motors bundle, which is interesting because I definitely did not see it before this contest was made, even though I was there for the Holy Motor season. But in any case, yeah. So I've had this profile picture equipped because, I mean, why wouldn't I? It's unique and it's cool as hell, and we all must give in to the Ravagers at some point in our lives. And so I've had a couple of people ask me about it already, so I figured I'd post the build on exhibition, which I've done, and then I might as well, you know, do a video on it for anybody who missed the post or anybody who wants to, like, the actual details on the pack, because once again, I didn't see it, at least I don't recall it as a physical pack that you could buy and play around with, so it seems pretty likely that some people don't really know what it includes, even if they did see the contest, since of course there's just the static image that I showed up. So yeah, pretty straightforward, and I did also throw it up on the exhibition. I'm not necessarily going to leave it up ad nauseum, but there is a pertinent reason why I did that. So, oopsie. Side note, I think there's a bug currently where it leaves like a permanent notification there. Unless I'm just dumb and have been missing one for the factions. Doesn't look like it, yeah. Because I did just level up Fire Starters and Dawn's Children to level 15. But in any case, I have like the new icon, the yellow dot on it, ad nauseum since I was awarded the pack, like literally the same day, the same update. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a bug with that. Secondarily, this is news to me. The details tab in the screen actually gives you a little bit of lore. So there's some more for you to read. And that's interesting because I didn't even realize that it applied to, like, not only you know, the pack cars, but even packs that aren't actually available for purchase that you wouldn't see these descriptions anywhere else. I do think it's, as a side note, that, I mean, this isn't really meant for me to complain about all the bugs in the game, or features that I think could be improved upon, but it's going to be a relatively short video, so why not include it anyway. I think it'd be worthwhile to include the source for the Beetle and Offspring pack in the Storyteller and Money Collector, because I mean, they don't have them, whereas like even the Valiant one, the best starter pack, is labeled. So saying contest reward, saying, you know, the Beetle was from Crossout turn 6 or something, I think would be great, for reference sake for other people. But I do think it's cool that they have all these descriptions, because I don't even recall, for instance, reading the Beetle one anywhere. So I'm thinking that they maybe like wrote these and posted them internally and then never actually announced them. Maybe I'm just completely wrong and I'm forgetting the description for all of these were released. But in any case, it's interesting because when you open up the details tab, when you look at packs that you haven't bought yet, it just gave like the descriptions of it, I thought, which is why I didn't think to check before now, even though I've played it for the game for like 2 years. So yeah, see, just the details. It's not any of the lore stuff, it's just the list of the parts. So I never thought to, you know, buy a pack and then look and see what the description for it was. So not that the wiki isn't horribly out of date and ad riddled anyway, but I think that's probably one of the best cases, or the ones of most merit for a reason to have it, is to have these sort of, you know, flavor texts, contest reward links, packs that are unlisted, sort of like compiled somewhere for reference by other people, especially because the naming is consistent. Like, I don't suspect the Offspring pack is going to go by any other name any time forward at any point. So in theory, when you say the Offspring pack, it should always be referencing this specific Holy Motors contest pack, regardless of how far it is in the future, even though saying Offspring pack doesn't probably mean very much to many people. As far as the actual components included in this pack, I thought it was really interesting to note that it actually hits the part limit immediately. So I suppose that means that even if you were like a level 1 character just started the game and you happen to win the contest, you'd immediately hit the part limit with the engineers, I think. On top of getting, of course, like a fully built semi-functional pack from the get-go, on top of, you know, all the structural parts and whatnot unlocked. But I thought that was a really cool thing to mention. So we have a couple of paints, so dark red, which is tradable for whatever reason. So you can see I can sell it there if I were to so desire. And then curse, which isn't tradable, even though there is a tradable version of curse in the game. And that one is the black with like little notches sort of ticked into all the surfaces. I don't really know quite what they were going for with it. It kind of just looks like water damage over a long period of time rather than something that like makes me think, oh, it's been spookified and cursed. But in any case, that's what they're doing with it. Yeah, so pretty straightforward as pack. Obviously, you've got the bat cabin, a engine, a reload booster, and then 2 blue cannons. Pretty straightforward. A myriad of parts. Like I said, this would be great, I think, for like newer players more so than me, but it's obviously not how it went down. All of the parts that I did get from it are not tradable, which shouldn't be too surprising. That's pretty much the way it's been consistently now. And then there are a couple of stickers as well. So the secret knowledge one is one that you can get from other sources. So if I dare open my inventory and try and find it. And I immediately can't. Okay, so maybe that's also a unique one to the pack. I did not think it was, but maybe it is. Even more reason to post it, I guess. I could have sworn I've seen that on like other sources. Maybe I'm just Oh, crazy. Let's see. Yeah, apparently it's not listed. Okay, cool. So it has those stickers, Secret Knowledge, which is just a bunch of text, I suppose, in the Holy Motors language. I don't pretend to actually know what it is or if it's supposed to be actually deciphered or whatnot. And then the other one, which I knew was specific to this pack, which is the Holy Motors one, which has their symbol and then again the text cipher, scrawl, whatever, written around on the outside. So this one was a lot more interesting in my eyes because I knew for a fact that it wasn't available. I still think that Secret Knowledge is available somewhere else, but obviously I could be very much wrong about it. In any case, so it's a sticker, works with Holy Motors. We don't have any other sticker for the faction that specifically displays their icon like that, and it's a pretty sweet one. So that one's pretty cool. That's probably the things I'm most excited about other than the unique profile picture, which is, I mean, a fucking gas mask dude who went insane, which is pretty crazy. Pun not intended. And then the stickers, because Holy Motors is a really interesting faction. As far as the vehicle itself, obviously we have the different modules I mentioned before, but ton of stickers. I do think it's interesting to note that they kind of have like a step out here on the right hand side in red, which I thought was pretty cool. Whereas on the left side, the entire thing is sort of like taken over by like pipes. And that was actually the first thing I thought of when I saw this pack. I was like, well, this is like pretty well done overall, but I felt like it could be done better if, for instance, we lined up some of the pipe shield parts like that and, you know, kind of went from there and sort of iterated on it. And it was at that point that I realized that it was at the part limit already. So it might be like looking sort of unfinished just because of the part limit, and they didn't want to compromise with things in other areas. As you can see, for instance, there isn't much use of that part, but they have it on nonetheless. Likewise, they have armor in between the wheels, which people don't generally do, especially for parts that are that fragile. But in any case, be it that, or be it they meant for it to like purposefully look messy and half complete, I don't know. That's obviously something the devs would have to comment on. I'm not so sure they have a whole lot of reason to. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I suspect it's meant to mimic the sort of look of the hydraulic adapters and parts on the Ravager's vehicles. Not you. Not you, that one. Like all the like metal tubing and whatnot from the Ravagers, because I mean the Holy Motors cult is worshipping the Ravagers, so maybe that's kind of what they were going for, and as a result, you know, dude being insane again, the devs purposefully left it like semi-complete just to sort of drive home that factor. It's not really a terribly complex pack otherwise, you know, but pretty neat one nonetheless, like I said, primarily for the cosmetics more than anything else. Certainly not terribly greatly built from like a functional aesthetic, like you could probably slap on a generator in another cannon if you were so inclined, but I mean having the fully exposed blue cabins on the build with hitting the part limit isn't really generally considered a good idea. In any case, I will note the somewhat synergies that the new pack does also have, which I've obviously simmed about a lot already, but I will note that the bird spirit sticker is, just because this is also semi-Holy Motors, so it kind of has the same gist with the triangular symbol, the circle with scroll, and then it has Alva's bird spirit logo on it, the Kutk, but I haven't bought it yet. I've discussed it a few times. I'm really interested in buying it. We'll see how she goes. You know, it's like $90 Canadian, but in any case, there is some potential synergy between this pack and the event pack I got. So if I do end up picking this up, I'd be really interested in seeing what I can do by combining them together. Likewise, again, as another segue, I was thinking it'd be really interesting to use Alva's profile picture alongside the amusement park banner background, which was that one. Now, mind you, I think the best example that I saw with it was people running that alongside the banner logo for the amusement park season. Like, that just looks super good together. But I mean, like I said, amusement park. This wasn't actually amusement park, my bad. This is from Witch's Hunt. But in any case, they looked really well together. I think in a, quote unquote ideal world, that's why I would have done. I would have retroactively, knowing now, I would have went and bought that and then run that with the Alva profile picture. But in any case, I didn't, and the amusement park pack value kind of sucked, so I don't regret not doing that either. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'm kind of just running like a interior engine with a lightning bolt kind of slapped on top of it to sort of reference like the living machine. I was kind of debating between this lightning bolt and the energy weapon lightning bolt, which I'm obviously running, but I figure that one looks a little bit better. Alternatively, could have run something like the Marmok logo since it is centered on the engine, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I haven't really figured out anything else that works like really well for like a Holy Motors / Cult / Ravagers like combination. If anybody has any suggestions, obviously feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to hear ideas. But even including like the locked and unavailable items, there isn't really a plethora of things that are like Holy Motors-esque anyway. So in the meantime, I'm just sticking with the banner of the engine and then the banner logo of the lightning bolt. So yeah, so that's that pack. Like I said, I currently have it up on exhibition. I'll be leaving it for a little bit at least, as like people are obviously interested in it since I've been asked about the profile picture multiple times. So I figured I'd just eat all this stuff up. And yeah, it'll probably stay up for the foreseeable future. Maybe like a week or two from now, I'll end up having another idea for a build and I'll need another slot and I'll take this down. But hopefully this video serves as a suitable replacement for it nonetheless, if that occurs.